all sorts of things happen before you go live. Okay. Hello,
Yes.
everyone. Welcome, everybody, to Healing Conversations. I need this conversation today. I'm hosting today. My name is Alicia Watkins. And today we are exploring a topic that I've talked about several times. And I'm so happy that I get to revisit this topic. And it is something that I think affects and touches all of us. And it is a topic of money, and it's not just dollars and cents. It's really about stories. We're going to talk about habits. We're going to talk about breaking habits. And to do that, you have to first get to know yourself. So, how we think about and how we use money. And I'm joined by a very special guest here. I met her at the All Black National Convention. She was so impressive, and I really love her resume. Her name is Shurnette Henry. Y'all, she is founder and she is CEO of Papillon Financial LLC, and she's creator of the Money Style Method. I mean, come on. She's got 24 years, 24, y'all, 24 years of financial industry experience working with everybody about their finances. And she has really transformed her career, and she's helping families use the power of their personality. And she's going to tell us all about these colors. Are you green? Are you gold? Are you orange? I think it's blue, right?
Mhm.
She's going to tell us all about this, how you can use your personality and the colors to build your wealth and make sound financial decisions that make sense to you. It's not a cookie cutter, one size fits all. And most importantly, I think this will help us to kind of heal, because whenever there's self awareness and whenever you can learn about who and what you are, that helps you make decisions. And we're going to talk about how money personalities affect the choices that you make. It's all about understanding ourselves and some of the lessons we can pass down to our children. This is how we finally break the cycles that keep our families stuck. Oh my gosh, welcome, Shurnette.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Alicia. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity to have this conversation with you, especially with your credentials yourself, all of your experience working with families, with couples, and your book about anxiety with money. So I think I'm in the right space and having the right conversation with the right person.
Yeah, I never really realized. Well, thank you. I never really realized how much people just got really scared when it came to money. And it's
Mhm.
funny because anxiety does one of two things. It either makes you like hyper vigilant and you're on top of everything and you need to know what's going on all the time. Or I found that people were just avoiding. They're like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to open up my credit card bill. I don't want to. And I realized like how much that was affecting families when I was working with couples. And it's so funny because never in a million years that I think I would ever be doing some of the things that I'm doing now. And it was really my husband that was like, people really struggle with this, and we need to we need to have some conversations around this topic. And so I got really interested in it, and I did notice in my practice this was like a big deal with couples, and people were like, I mean, I've seen married people, they'll get upset if their spouse cheats on them, and but if you mess
Mhm.
up the money, it's like it cuts deep. Can you believe
That
that? It
is
cuts
it.
deep. Like
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean,
get over infidelity, but I cannot get over financial infidelity because it affects everybody in the household.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's where we lay our life security, our foundation. A lot of times, I mean, we have our partners who we love and who we confide in, who we rely on. But if your money's not right, then it doesn't like that relationship becomes secondary to your sense of security and foundation and comfort. So it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's so huge. And it's funny because you talk about personality. And I was on the phone with my daughter. She goes to college at Tuskegee. She's a freshman at Tuskegee University, TU. Anyway, she's a freshman there. And when I talk to her, she is like, she really has a thing with money. But I really do think it's her personality, because I should have taken video. So she has an older brother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because he's older, he has more money. Because
Okay.
he's 4 years older than her. And so they get money every year. And so he had more money than she does. She is what, maybe 3 or 4 years old. She can see in his piggy bank how much money he has. And
Okay.
she takes her money and she dumps her money, 3.5, 4 years old. And
Mhm.
she's on the floor playing with her money, which is really gross, by the way. I'm sitting here like, this is Jeremy. And
It really is.
I couldn't, Shurnette, she's crying, real tears. I'm like, Coco, what's the matter? She said, I don't have that much money. And I said, well, you have lots of money. And she's looking over at her brother. And then she looks at me and she says, it's not plenty.
Wait, so that is a lot to unpack there.
It's not plenty.
Because I mean, how old is she? How old is she? This was when she was 3.
She was not older than 4.
That is interesting. So she learned from a very young age either the value of money, or did she do it with everything? Did she look at anything?
No, she just has it with money, and she does compare. She was comparing to what her brother.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. It'd be interesting to really understand where, like at 3 or 4, where she learned how important that is. But then also, I mean, Dr. Boyce, that's what he does. That's what he talks about all day long. So, I mean, she's probably hearing it all day long in the household in some way. And
it's really crazy. She just has this thing. And even our youngest, she could care less. She's a free spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Her little personality, because she's the baby, her personality is, oh, it'll come. And it does, because she's the baby.
See, in my head, and I used to always, so just to step back a bit.
Yeah.
I was telling you that I use the tool Personality Dimensions. And it is, I got this from my sister. Like, this is when...
Siblings.
This is the beauty of having siblings. So even when you're like, leave me alone. Stop telling me I'm a blue. The beauty is that it eventually comes around to something that you could use for the good of the world. Because I can already start in my head thinking, well, your other child is probably an orange. Oranges, they're big thinkers. They're the ones who become the CEOs. They come up with the big ideas. But when it comes to money, they think it's going to work out. It'll figure itself out, right? And they're not usually, the oranges I've ever worked with are not as tied to the dollars and the cents as much as a gold, for example, which your daughter might be. I don't know for sure.
Okay, so you think my youngest one is an orange because she thinks it'll work out. Okay,
the one who said that it'll all work out. Is that your youngest one?
Yeah, it's my youngest
one.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, she could be.
she could be an orange.
She could be.
Okay.
That's generally the mindset of an orange. Like, I'll find it somehow. It'll come to me in some way. It'll work itself out.
I'm gonna manifest. She's like, I'm gonna manifest.
Right.
But she don't know.
But I don't want to, pre-diagnose. But from the people who I've worked with over the course of time that I've been running this program, she sounds very much like an orange.
Okay. We'll give it that clause. Okay, so what would you say my middle child, the one who cried, she's comparing what her brother has, and she's crying because it's not plenty. Like, what does she need money for? She gets once.
I don't even know if that is like tied to the colors necessarily. Okay. That could be tied to, it's really a whole collection of things, right? It's our life experience, but our temperament or our core characteristics, like that is determined from birth, and that doesn't change. And then you have social, environmental situations that, compile and compound on those things. But
she likes the finer things in life, the middle child. She
okay.
will pay.
Okay.
She will pay for the finer things.
I don't know if that's necessarily a color thing, because I like the finer things.
You're like, that's my girl.
Exactly. And sometimes I'm like, man, why do I like such expensive things?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if that's a color thing. But
interesting. We buy boys gifts, and the middle child, she has to buy the most expensive gift. She compares her choices, and it has to be, she'll compare how much everything is, and then she'll make sure she goes back and she'll get the most expensive.
Oh, that's like a value thing that's going on. Have you asked her why?
Yeah, she just like, I don't know. She just has to be, she's competitive.
Oh, that's what it is.
She's very high driven.
I'm thinking, because that is some of the characteristics of an orange also.
Really?
But orange is, so we could take a step back and we can explain the colors.
Yeah, let's explain the colors, and then we'll try to retrofit. We'll see which one of my children fit into each one. Okay.
Right.
Everybody, you guys, y'all get your pen and paper out, because we're going to figure out our money personality right now. The title of our show is Money Personality, and we're going to talk about healing too. We're going to break generational cycles. We're going to have these conversations about how we can, number one, get to know ourselves and our money personality, and how we can use it for our benefit. So part one, money personality. Let's hear about these colors, and then we'll try to retrofit what I think it relates to my children here. And then you guys in the chat, y'all take notes, and then y'all let us know what color you are. And I got to get these colors down. I'm sure you'll tell us. There's green, gold, orange, and blue. What are those colors?
Yes, absolutely. All right. So are you able to share your screen, or should I?
Yeah, you can share your screen. Let me see. Let's see. Where do you got? Send it, email it to me, and then maybe I'll put it up.
All right. So let me do that.
See if you can share. Do you have a button down?
I have a button that says present.
Oh yeah, click on that button and pull your notes up.
Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Are you seeing my screen yet?
Oh, I do see. Okay, let me add it to the stage. There we go.
You're seeing it?
Okay. Yes, I can see it. Everybody, can y'all see it? I can see it.
Okay, perfect. All right. So again, the tool that we use, and it's really, so I have my sister. She's amazing. She's been working with me in this business and this program for several years now. She has a history as a career coach, and this is the tool that they were using, called Personality Dimensions, that helps people understand their core characteristics. It really helps you understand how you show up in the world, in every situation, what you're like as a mother, as a business owner, as a friend, as a worker. And so you take that information and you can apply it to everything that you're trying to do in life. And you can also understand others who you interact with in life on a daily basis, especially our spouses. I think it's very helpful for that. So what I want to do, something fun, is, can everybody see my screen? Do you see like the green?
Yes, I do see green.
Okay, so do people have access to the chat? Because if they do, I would love for people to take a look at this photo and tell me who they think the people in this photo are. Like, what do they like? What do they value? And if people could just start typing that in the chat. And Dr. Alicia, tell me what
Well, I see a flower. I see a lady in a flower.
A lady in a flower.
It says understanding ourselves and others. That's what I'm seeing. It looks like a PowerPoint slide.
Oh, okay. Wait. Let me. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to go to the other slide. 1 second. I'm going to share again.
Okay, everybody. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Yes, I see green. Oh,
all right.
Huh. Oh, I see people looking through a microscope, like a telescope. I see a microscope. Looks like zooming in on something. It looks very sciencey.
Looks very sciencey to you?
Yes.
All right. So, so what would these people value?
Oh, I think they're scholarly. They're always searching for something. Adventure.
I love that you said that word. Okay, so these are what we would call inquiring greens. And the core characteristic of someone who's an inquiring green is that they're logical and rational, they're analytical and systematic, and they really need independence. And some of their functional skills are that they are good at visualizing and creating, getting to the core of complex issues. Their strengths are that they have a lot of determination. They're big picture thinkers. However, their potential weaknesses could be that they suffer from a little bit of information overload. I'm going to give you an example. And they can be impatient and even arrogant sometimes. So an inquiring green, I remember I was in a workshop and I was working with someone who was an inquiring green, and he told us a story about how he wanted to buy a television set. And it took him, I think, 8 months to buy a television set because he had to compare all the television sets. And
that would drive me crazy.
For 8 months. And that's an inquiring green. Like, that's a key characteristic of an inquiring green. So I'm going to, can you see the next slide?
Orange.
All right. So same thing. Tell me what based on the people in the picture, what do they value? What are their interests?
Oh, they're adventurous, and probably creative. Maybe.
Yeah, they can be creative.
Yeah, I can see why orange. You thought my youngest is an orange. Yeah, that's just all the stuff she likes to travel. It looks like she's talking. Oh, racing. Oh my goodness, is that like somebody that would be on a helicopter? Oh,
yeah, it says rescue helicopter.
Oh, rescue helicopter. Okay, they're caring.
You hit some of the key characteristics. So
Kay says adventure and explorer.
Yes, this is what we would call resourceful orange. So their key characteristics are that they seek change and variety. They're independent and competitive, which is what I was saying.
Nicole is competitive. Okay.
Right. Some of their functional skills is that they are really good at producing results. They're really good at negotiating and improvising as well. Their strengths are that they can be very flexible and adaptable, really resilient type of people. They have a natural instinct for opportunity. This is why I was saying, they're really good at business, as you see that business person with the suit, with the briefcase. But their potential weaknesses is that they could be impatient with theory and semantics, and they tend to break the rules, sometimes. So do you see any of your children in
I can see, the competitiveness is my middle child, Coco, and she's very business oriented, and she likes variety. That's interesting. But then I also see my youngest one. I got to go through all of the colors and see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I work with oranges, they tend to be of the mindset that everything will work itself out. And so, you have many different budgeting techniques, like strategies, many different ways of managing a budget. You cannot tell a resourceful orange to sit down every month with a pen in hand and paper and reconcile their budget. They usually don't have the patience for that.
Okay, that's my youngest. No, that is not my middle child. No, that's the baby. That's Tay Tay.
Okay, but
Tay
we're gonna
Tay
get
is orange.
we're gonna get to the people who do. So, what is this photo telling you about the people in the photo? What they value?
Yellow. Oh, yellow looks like. What do y'all think? Homebody. I'm looking at balance. So they're looking at fairness. I'm seeing a picture of a family. So they don't like they're not as adventurous. They want to stay home. And they got this structured suit on. So they're very business-like, I want to say. In the time. So what the clock is there. Huh. So maybe that tells me the clock is there. So they just like time is money.
Time is money, but people who like go by a schedule and a clock and
highly structured,
they're very organized, right? So this people who fit into this this characteristic, they're called organized gold. And so their characteristics are that they're very organized and orderly. They really believe in the structure of family. They're very committed in business. They're the ones who are very on time. They can sit and they could do their budget from start to finish for the entire year. I love running workshops with organized goals because when I give them exercises like create a budget for a family trip, the greens, or not the greens, the oranges are like, we started with some amount and we'll figure out the rest when we get there. When we land, we'll figure out the rest. But the organized gold, they will go through everything in detail and sometimes have money left over. That's the type of person that that's how they show up with their money. So their functional skills are planning and organizing, budgeting, computing. So if you have someone who's like this in your household and you're not, strong with managing your budget, you give that role to the organized gold and they'll knock it out the park for you.
You always need one in the family.
You always need one in the family.
How is everybody supposed to know what's going on? You need somebody running the family reunion. Put the golds in charge of the family reunion.
Exactly.
Because you put the orange in charge, we don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
Nobody knows what's going on. Okay.
I shouldn't get down on the oranges. They have so many wonderful characteristics.
They can come up with interesting ideas, but they're not going to implement the idea.
They're going to make it really fun. Exactly. Yeah. They're going to make it really, really fun. They're going to be really creative. But the golds, they're very dependable. They're stabilizers in a family or an organization. But their potential weakness is that they can be guarded and lack vision. And they can be a little unforgiving when people, live outside of the rules that they really hold dear. So, all right. So I think this is the last one, our blues. So again, tell me what you think about the people in this photo.
So these are the creatives.
Mm.
This is, okay, I'm seeing a paintbrush. I'm seeing music. They're meditating. I see, I see like almost like acting, take one, theater of people. So these are the creatives.
Yes, these are who we called authentic blues. So people who are authentic blues, they are the creatives. They are very people oriented. They're very ethical, honest, and sincere type of people. Their functional skills are motivating and persuading and leading, actually, and mediating conflicts. Authentic blues are very good at mediating conflicts. Their strengths are creative thinking. They facilitate personal and organizational growth. They're really good at that. Their potential weaknesses is that they may avoid confrontations. Like they can tend to not like to step into confrontations. And they might be slow to make decisions. I'll tell you right now, I'm a blue. That's my strongest color.
You are blue.
I'm a blue. So the thing is that the important thing to make sure everyone knows is that we're not one of any of these colors. We are actually made up of all of these characteristics. So the principle is that we're all plaid. However, we do dominate in one of the colors, usually from birth. And so why I love this tool is because it's not telling me that I have to be a certain way with my money. What it's telling me is this is my tendency. And so because I know I have all of these other core characteristics, here we go. We're all these colors. Because I know we have these core characteristics, I'm trying to get back to you.
I got you. I can see you and hear you. Mm-hmm.
Then now when I work with people, I can help them identify their strengths and their weaknesses. And then I could teach them about different financial strategies and allow them to tailor their financial strategy to their core characteristics, to their functional skills, to their strengths, and even away from their weaknesses.
Away from their weaknesses. Okay, so I will just tell you, you guys, y'all, and everybody watching, I see y'all in here. We are talking about money personality, and Miss Shurnette, she just went through all of the colors. Now, everybody, let me know what color you are. I'm gonna go through them again. The greens, y'all greens. Everybody who's green, you guys are rational, and y'all get on my nerves because y'all too slow to make a decision. Deal with that. But you are very independent and just rational, and you are very logical. Who's all the logical? I guess it's basically all the engineers. Just identify yourself in the chat right now. Just let me know.
Right. Engineers. Yeah, they become nurses. They become scientists. You're bang on.
They are something. Okay, Marie is a blue. She already knows she's a blue. Okay, who are the greens? Are the greens even in here? Do the engineers come to Healing Haven Conversations? I don't know. Green. Okay, Woodwood says he or she is green and blue. Okay, all right. So who are the people like Coco, like Nicole? Nicole for sure is a gold.
You think so? So
she's a little bit of all of it, but I think she's more of a gold because she is very, very organized. She is very, very dependable. She is really good at planning stuff. We already made our mind up that Coco is going to be the one in charge of our trust fund, in charge of everything. She is the one. She's gold. She don't play around. She's very, very dependable, and she will hold you to the fire, hold your feet to the fire. Which you still have her little. You said you were going to do this, and in charge of the family reunion.
It sounds like it. But I have to say, you, even though you think you are a certain color because you're resonating with one or two of the characteristics, the assessment to know, because you would be surprised.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a surprise. We're just speculating at this point because this is science. Shurnette's not about just picking up things. This is science. Right. Okay. Next we have Orange. Orange is my youngest one. Spot on her. She wants variety. Yeah. She is competitive, but more so than anything, she could be very impatient. Do not give her a budget. She's not trying to be in a budget. This is probably Dr. Boyce is probably an orange too. He can come up with also. He is the most creative person I know, believe it or not. If I ever need an idea, I know to go to him. And he will give me the idea. But if I need to execute it, I can't go to him because he'll get irritable or something. He's like, don't go to me. Don't come to me with that one. So he can't do it. So he's very flexible, just like Taylor. And it's interesting because he and Tay Tay, they're like attached at the hip a lot. You know, they're kind of, their personalities are just in general similar. So he likes negotiating. He's very flexible. He is resilient, good at business, but can be impatient.
And so he has a lot of support to do like.
Yeah, but he knows this about himself, and he's just like, if you're going to give me the detail, it's all going to mess up. I got to hire another person to do the detail, but it's gonna ruin his day if he has to sit and do a budget.
Oh wow,
it'll ruin his
day. Sounds like he probably dominates in that color.
He dominates in orange.
But we don't. Yeah, but again, you'd have to take the assessment.
I'm diagnosing him. Okay. Anyway, it's an ongoing joke. Y'all know how couples have these
of course,
it's an internal joke that we have with each other. Okay. The next one are blues. How many of y'all think y'all blue? Okay, wait. Kay says she's an orange. Kay. Oh, look at the dress she has on and the flowers.
I love it.
It's giving me orange energy. Kay is giving me orange energy.
I love it.
That is really interesting. Okay, Cleveland is just like, I'm seeing myself everywhere. Okay. And then Ayana is saying she's yellow blue. That's interesting. So Ayana, you saying a little bit of a blue. Blue people, I know that is my son. Oh, is that Yaya? Hey, Yaya, how you doing? That's my girl. Anyway, yes, she is a blue. She's just like my son, Quincy. He avoids confrontation. It takes him a long time to make a decision. And he'll be like, I don't know. He has no idea.
Now,
he's good with conflict. He is very good with conflict.
Yeah, that sounds.
But he tries to avoid it.
Yeah. So I mean, anybody who knows me, Kay's actually, she's my sister-in-law. So that dress was totally fit for her. So, but anyone who knows me will tell you I can stand my ground in a confrontation, but I don't like it.
Right.
It's such an uncomfortable space to be in.
Yes.
For sure. And then you go to avoid it. But this is how it shows up in your money. So blues, for example, like the example I always give is because blues are so people oriented and they care so much about, the people in their world.
Yes.
If a blue won the lottery,
yeah,
they would think about everybody they wanted to give the money to first.
Oh, that's totally my son.
Yeah.
Totally Quincy. Quincy would do that. He would share it. And then pretty soon you'd have to say, Quincy, what are you doing? You gotta He can't, he won't put other people ahead of himself, even when it's harming himself.
Right. So that's the balance, because when it comes to your finances, you have to, I think blues can give all day long, but there's a way to structure it so that you can self-sustain and you can thrive, and then you can still help. Oh, someone's Marie said she'd give most of it away.
I give most of it away, and that's it. That is my son. I know for sure Nicole is not doing that, and Taylor is not going to be. No, Taylor will a little bit, but Nicole for sure is not doing that. She's like, "What are you doing?" No,
Marie's actually my girl. Marie, she will give all of it away. Her heart is so big. Yes.
Look at the smile. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you guys, what are your colors? Who is it? Gold, blue, orange, and green. Honestly, I kind of feel like I really am a little bit of everything. I'm a little bit of everything. And I do think I'm plaid, only because when I take the Myers-Briggs, I don't score anything. I'm like right in the middle of everything. I'm neither an introvert or an extrovert. I'm neither a perceiver or a judger. Whatever those categories are, I'm like in the mid. I'm in the center.
I should have Cheryl, my sister, do that with you, because I actually scored almost in the center, but you're always going to dominate. You're always going to
Always
dominate
gonna
in
have one to dominate.
one or two. Yeah.
Woo. Oh Lord, I don't know. Maybe gold. I would say I probably am more. I'm not very risky.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm risk adverse.
I'd have to just do your assessment. I
You
couldn't.
have to do mine. I really am not very, very risky. I think I know I'm not agreeing because I'm not patient enough for that. I already know I'm not that patient, but the gold, I think I'm more adhering to the gold. Just because I like to be organized and I don't overspend. I live beneath my means.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
And then it's also, like I said, a balance between what you understand about money and your core tendencies and how you show up in different situations. So I think it's so important for us to really learn and understand ourselves. In fact, I will tell you that anytime I've ever worked with anyone, and when I listen to people who are interested in, everything about finance, people always gravitate to the strategies and the numbers first. But the strategies and the numbers are only 20% of being successful with your finances. It's behavior that drives the decision we make. And retailers use that to their advantage. Other financial firms use that to their advantage because they will have statistics on how people are shopping and the news that comes out and how that impacts people emotionally and watch how people are trading or not trading in the market, what they're buying or not buying based on people's emotions and their behaviors. So it's such an important thing to become aware of. And if you're really aware of how you show up, like behaviorally, like what your core, and nothing is bad, right? It's either this is just how you show up. If you understand that intimately, then you have 10 times more ability to be successful with like creating a strategy for your money.
I really wonder, like, we were talking, in case everybody didn't know, me and Shurnette, we spent a good time on and talking about some of this before, having you on here. And you mentioned like family patterns. And I'm wondering, how can past experiences that have been frightening in terms of money, like having, oh my goodness, living paycheck to paycheck and having the car break down and just being in this dire, desperate situation, and it's all on your shoulders. Just think about a mother who is the head of the household and trying to pull things together and have had a history of really frightening experiences connected to money. How does that, in your experience, show up, or these conversations emerge when you're working with individuals to help them make decisions that's incongruent with their style? How has that shown up?
So how it shows up is all of these experiences that we have, what our parents said to us when we were kids, especially if it was repeated, like, let's say, I'm making this up. You had a parent who always told their child that they were poor, or always said, we don't have anything. We don't have the money. We don't have the money. We don't have the money. That person, that's what they learned. That's what becomes imprinted in them. And so they may grow to be an adult with a scarcity mindset. So they might start thinking, well, I got to save and hoard because I don't want to not have the money. And then they may bring that. Money doesn't grow on trees. Absolutely. Yes, we've all heard that. At least many of us have heard that. And so you can tend to, other people might actually go in the opposite direction. And they might throw caution to the wind and say, oh, I have money, let's spend it because I have it, because I want to feel good. I want to feel better than when it was always restricted from me. And so their ability to self-regulate that is challenged. So understanding some of the traumas, and then, Dr. Alicia, there are some traumas that is beyond the program that I do, and in all seriousness, we have like really traumatic situations with money. And I've had to actually tell some people I've worked with, hey, you might want to speak to, a counselor or someone like yourself, who can really dig down and understand what some of the historic experiences are with that person. And they could bring that into a relationship. And if their partner is one who doesn't think that way or didn't have that experience, then it becomes challenging. It puts pressure on the relationship.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't imagine like someone being with someone where you have this frightening experiences related to money and being with an orange.
Oh my God.
An orange, y'all don't know, an orange is can be impatient, is very flexible, but not necessarily interested in the details. And for people who have some anxiety around money, they need details. They're like, you have to let me know what's going on.
And it's funny because I did work with a couple with that pairing.
Yeah. And isn't that something, how you get together with somebody that would be that way?
And the wife was so worried, and the husband was like, it'll work itself out. It's all good. But the strength in using this tool is it allows people to take judgment out of the conversation. So we immediately will go to our partner and say, well, he is so, or she is so. But instead, now if we have a better understanding of their core characteristics, and especially their past experiences, we can say, okay, based on this information and these tendencies, this is how we're showing up in the situation. Now, what can we do to redirect or change, like have a paradigm shift and change the narrative?
Yeah, and this makes sense. I can see why you're saying this is for the benefit of just self-awareness and also understanding where this comes from. Because you get into a relationship and you need to have that structure because things may not have been structured for you early on. And then you end up with an orange who's just like, all just kind of work itself out. And they're like, what planet are you on? Like, who says?
I don't want to get down on oranges. They have so many strengths.
I don't want to be down on oranges. I don't want to be down. But you can be like, wait a minute, what are you doing? And maybe an orange would look at somebody like that and say, listen, it's enough. Have this abundant. You have this scarcity mindset. So an orange can look at them and say, you have a scarcity mindset. How about you think of abundance? And I could see them butting heads. And I just can't tell you, Shurnette, it's a really strange thing about how they will get together more times than not. It's almost like you have an unconscious desire to work out your issues in your relationship.
It's true. And again, we know money is one of the key reasons for determining if a relationship will survive or not survive. Like it's one of those key topics in a relationship. So I think that once you understand yourself, you understand your partner, now you have to build trust, because there's value to the perspective of an orange.
Yes.
You can lose opportunity on the market because you have a scarcity mindset. Yes. You may not take chances, with caution. And still, you'll miss the market because you're here in this bucket where you don't want to engage in certain types of trading or in other investment products. And now time goes by, and your partner's also suffering because they're standing there saying, "But this but I can see. But so yeah, it's huge in relationships and so important.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, these patterns, you got anybody in the chat? Hey, Aura, how you doing? Anyone in the chat? You guys, have any of you all seen these kind of patterns going on with family financial habits and the fact that, savers and people who are just a little bit more risky, who wants to see variety, and they're good at taking a little bit more of a risk, and you have to take a risk. No risk, no reward, really. Within some reason. Yeah, you've seen that, Aura. Yeah, that's you. Are you risky, Aura? It's really fascinating. Like, I could never spend all day looking at the stock market. Like, that would ruin my day. Of course, I want to spend my day learning about mental health and learning about my passion. But if that's your passion, that's what it is. But the thing is that you complement each other when you are a family. Some person is good at this and some person is good at yet another thing.
That's exactly what I was going to say next, because now you can assign roles.
Yes.
And you can bring the entire family into the exercise of creating a strategy for your family. Like, I mean, if you have kids, especially when you have kids, because I don't know about you, but when I grew up, my parents made all the money decisions. And so then I was just told yes or no. Most of the time I was like, if I got a yes, I was like, really? because the focus was just on, feeding and sheltering and so forth. But if you now bring the kids into that conversation, can you imagine how much more powerful you are as a family, building a strategy, building a wealth plan for everyone?
Oh, that is really good. So, advice you would give to parents. All of us, everybody who's a parent in here, let us know, it's never too late. No matter how old your children are, you can have this conversation today. You want to model all of these healthy financial behaviors with the knowledge of the fact that we're not going to look at other people's personality and think there's something wrong with them. We're going to look at their personality and to see where we can use their strengths to help the family in general. How do you suggest people organize their finances in a way where if they feel stuck, if they're avoiding, how they can use some of these tools to create lasting change for our families today?
So that's a question to me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What would you say?
So I think that they can, or families and parents, starting with the couple, if you have a better understanding of your spouse, it's now taking that information, and you have a better understanding of your kids, depending on their age, because really, you would probably start this for a child who's at the age of 14. And now you can start implementing, or like I said, assigning roles. You can have conversations with the family as a whole and talk about their preferences, like what they're valuing with their money. When it comes to money, who is better or who would probably be better at budgeting in the family? How are you going to hold each other accountable? How are you going to celebrate your milestones with your money? Now you can identify triggers a little easier. And now when you can identify triggers and when you can identify like broken or narratives that don't serve you or the family, now you can start to change those narratives. So instead of, we can't afford that, it could be, we're planning this and we're planning to have that in the future, and these are the steps we have to take. So that's how you can address it as a family. And I think it's one of the most powerful things that you could do, not only for yourself, for your spouse, but for your kids. because generationally, especially in our community, generationally, money has been such a big issue. And we have a lot of negative imprinting around money.
Yes.
Now when we empower ourselves to understand ourselves better and to understand the people in our lives better, now we can start pulling on those strengths of everyone's characteristics and then pivoting away from the things that are not serving us.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good. I'm hearing what you're saying. I think what you're saying is that really to break some of these habits of scarcity, there's not going to be enough. That maybe we need to shift our language in our families. Instead of saying we don't have enough money for that, your answer is, okay, so you want a car when you're about to turn 16 and you want a car. Let's sit down and let's talk about
Let's
what we're
plan
going
for
to do to plan for that.
Exactly.
And yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even as a family, doing it, like families can do a family vision board.
Yes.
I think that is it could be a very fun way to really design a structure around the plan for money in the family. Kids, there's always that talk about college and how are we going to pay for college? Well, now we can start, especially if your kids are young, structuring, like having that plan, like whether the parents are like what the income is looking like and whether like how the family is doing. You can have a little jar that the family uses for building up vacation or even not necessarily planning toward college, because there are a lot of products that you could implement for that, but you could talk about those things in a healthier way as a family.
That is so good. I know my youngest one, when she was a toddler, she wanted something, and I would be like, "Okay, we'll get that. I'll think about it." She said, "No." She said, "Take your credit card and put that in." You know, when she was little, just put your credit card up there and get it, just like you normally do. You know, and I think that's really, really kind of fascinating. Yeah, they just like think that they don't understand that it's money exchange.
Right.
Yeah.
Role playing, I think, is also good. So,
okay.
So giving the kids the responsibility of organizing the grocery list and actually purchasing the groceries so that they can now understand what the entire family needs and the money, the budget that they have to work within and how they're going to get those items on the grocery list. And now they can also start talking through what do they value more on the grocery list? What do they value more on the back to school list? I've had a family, and there wasn't a client, but a friend of mine, I remember when I was a teenager, she told me how her family sat down, they talked through this extra money that they would have at the end of the year. And they decided as a family if they were going to either purchase something where they would go to that place, like a cottage or whatever it is, at any time that they wanted to, or if they would take that money and they would travel every year. And they all, as a family, chose that they wanted to travel every year. So, yeah. And it's teaching everybody in the family so much. It's benefiting the family. Everyone's voice is heard. And now you have a financial, strategy and plan for the family that is more cohesive for everyone.
Yeah, I really love this. I just thank you so much, Shurnette, for coming on here and talking about this. This money personality, you can use it and figure out. There's definitely, if it sounds like it's you, you might want to. If it sounds like it's you might want to think about some of the ways in which you view money. But if you want to know for sure, you got to get a hold of Shurnette Henry. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, because if they want to know and want to work with you.
Absolutely. You can reach me at hello@shurnettehenry.com. Shoot me an email. In fact, I am in the process, I'm really passionate also, not only about the family, but about women of color. And so I would love to hear from you to talk through some of the things that people are experiencing with their money and in their lives, so that we could build on that, and I can help them with that. So hello@ShurnetteHenry.com is how people can reach me.
So it's just hello at Shurnette Henry. And y'all see how she spells her name. SHURNETTE Henry, HENRY. Yes, that's a very Jamaican last name, by the way. I know so many. I know so many Henrys.
You're the second person to tell me that.
It's so interesting. All the Henrys. So while we wrap up today, I just want to let everybody know, if you want to be part of the book club, my book club, it is free. Go to draliciabookclub.com. You guys want to work with me at all, you can go to coachingwithdralicia.com. Y'all follow me on the gram and on TikTok and definitely on YouTube at Coaching with Dr. Alicia. I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to let everybody know that, okay, if you are an orange, let me tell you, it's orange, blue, gold, and green. If you are an orange, you see the big picture. You're very flexible. You're good at negotiating. You know, you are just, you just come up with the good ideas. The blue people, you blue people are good at negotiating. You're very conscientious. They just remind me of conscientious people. Don't like conflict so much, but definitely when you need to, are good at mediating, keeping everything together. That's my son, Quincy. And then if you're like Coco's a gold. She ain't no money gonna be leaving her hands. She is very detail oriented. She knows down to the penny how much money she needs in her checking account, how much money I owe her for whatever. Did I pay her back? But she's very dependable. We putting her in charge of the trust fund because we know she'll make sure everybody gets what they need. But if you're green people, we need green people in our life because green people are very independent, but they're very determined and they're logical. You need that rational space in your head. And oh my gosh, Shurnette, I thank you so much for joining. And my daughter's calling me, so I got to go get her from dance.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Really quickly, people can also follow me on Instagram at the Money Style Coaching.
Oh, good. Money Style Coaching.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Anyway, I gotta go, everybody. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Shurnette.
Have a wonderful night.
All righty.